Hey everyone, this is going to be part 32 of A Dog's Purpose. One day there was a loud knock on the door. "Bear, come here!" Wendy hissed at me. She locked me in her bedroom, but I could easily hear a man speaking to her. He sounded mad. "Not allowed to have a dog. It's in your lease." I caught my head at the word dog, wondered if I might be the source of the man's anger. I hadn't, as far as I knew, done anything wrong, but all the rules were different at this crazy place. So who could say? The next time Wendy left for work, she broke the pattern, calling me over and sitting me down. She seemed completely unimpressed that I knew how to sit on command without being taught. "Look, Bear, you can't bark while I'm gone, okay? I'll get in trouble with the neighbors. No barking, okay?" I could feel sadness at the edges of her feelings and wondered what it was all about. Perhaps she was bored all day too. Why didn't she just take me with her? I love car rides. I barked out my pent-up urging all afternoon, but I didn't chew any shoes. A day or so later, Wendy opened the door and with one hand and pulled a piece of paper off the outside of the door with another. I raced over to her, my bladder bursting, but she didn't let me out. Instead, she looked at the paper and then started shouting angrily. I had no choice but to squat on the kitchen floor, and she smacked me on the bottom in an open palm and then opened the door. "Here, you might as well go out. Everybody knows you're here anyway," she muttered. I finished my business in the yard, and I was sorry I had made a mess in the kitchen, but I simply hadn't had an option. The next day, Wendy slept in night, and then we got in the car and went for a long car ride. I was a backseat dog because of all the things piled on the front seat, but she did lower the window so I could put my nose out in it. We pulled up in the driveway of a small house with several vehicles in the yard. I could tell by the smell of them that they hadn't moved in a long time. I lifted my leg on one of them. An older woman opened the door. "Hi, Mom," Wendy said. "Is that it? It's huge. You said it was a puppy." "Well, I named him Bear. What did you think?" "This isn't going to work." "Mom, I have no choice. I got an invention notice," Wendy yelled angrily. "Well, what in the world were you thinking anyway? He was a gift from Derek. What was I supposed to do? Take him back?" "Why would he get you a dog when you can't have dogs in your apartment?" "Because I said I wanted him to. Okay, Mom, are you happy? I wanted a dog. God." The feeling the two women had toward each other were so complex that there was no way I could sort them out. Wendy and I spent the night in the tiny house, both of us a little afraid. There was a man named Victor who came home when it was dark, and he was full of age and made everything feel dangerous and crazy. While Wendy and I slept in a narrow bed in a cramped back room, Victor yelled in another part of the house, "I don't want a dog here." "Well, it's my place and I do want what I want." "What are you supposed to do with a dog?" "That's a stupid question. What does anyone do with a dog?" "Shut up, Lisa. Just shut up." "It'll be okay, Bear Boo. I wouldn't let anything happen to you," Wendy whispered to me. She was so sad I licked her hand in reassurance, but that just made her cry. The next morning, the two women stood outside and talked next to the car. I stepped along the door's edge and waited to be let inside. The sooner Wendy and I left this place, the better. "God, Mom, how can you put up with him?" Wendy said. "He's not so bad. He's better than your father." Oh, don't start." They stood silent for a minute. I gave the air a sniff. It carried with it the soft fragrance of the garbage stack up next to the house, which frankly smelled delighted. I wouldn't mind digging around in there someday. "Well, call me when you get home," the older woman finally said. "I will, Mom. Take good care of Bear." "Yeah," the woman put a cigarette in her mouth and lit it, blowing smoke out sharply. Wendy knelt beside me, and her sadness was so strong and finally I knew what was coming. She stroked my face and told me I was a good dog, and then opened the door and slid inside without letting me in. I watched the car drive away without surprise, though I wasn't at all sure what I had done. If I was such a good dog, why was I being abandoned by my owner? Now what, woman? The woman standing next to me muttered, puffing her cigarette. Over the next several weeks, I learned to stay away from Victor. Most of the time, this was easy as I was chained to the post in the backyard, and Victor never approached me. Often I could see him, though, sitting by a window in the kitchen, smoking and drinking. Sometimes at night he would come out into the backyard to urine, and that was about the only time he talked to me. "What are you looking at, dog?" he shouted at me. There was never any happiness in his laughter. The days grew warmer, so for shade I dug out a scoop of earth between the sagging black fence and marched machine that sat in the sun. Dog got dirt all over my snowmobile, Victor yelled when he saw what I've done. "Thing hasn't run in 2 years, woman," Lisa screamed back. They yelled at each other a lot. It reminded me a little of when Mom and Dad would get angry and shout, except that at this house, I'd sometimes see a thud and a cry of pain, usually accompanied by the sound of bottles knocking together and falling to the floor. A nice old lady lived in the place behind the round wooden fence, and she started coming over to talk to me through the gates and holes in the boards. "Such a nice doggie. Do you have water today?" she whispered the first really hot morning. She left and soon repaired with a pitcher, from which she poured a cold stream of water into my dirty bowl. I lapped it up and gratefully lit the thin, shaking hand she expected through the fence hole. The flies buzzing around my stools, landing on my lips and eyes, driving me a little crazy, but mostly I didn't mind lying in the backyard as long as I could be away from Victor. He scared me. The male violence flowing from him communicated a real sense of danger. I was reminded of Todd, the man with the gun who hurt Jacob, and the man who hurt Jacob. I've been both men, but I bit both men. Did that mean I would someday be buying Victor? I simply could not believe that my purpose in this life was to attack humans. It was beyond unacceptable. The mere thought made me sick. When Victor was not home, I would bark and Lisa would come out and feed me and let me off the chain a little bit, but I never once barked when he was in the house. The lady on the other side of the fence brought me little pieces of meat, which she poked through the hole when I caught the meat as it fell through the air. She laughed in real delight as I performed an amazing trick. It seemed the only purpose I had, really bringing a little bit of joy to a mysterious woman whose face I couldn't quite see. "This is a shame, a real shame. Why? You can't do this to an animal. I'm going to call somebody," she said. I could feel how much she cared about me, though it was strange because she never came into the yard to play. One day, a truck pulled into the driveway and a woman got out dressed just the way Maya used to dress, so I knew she was a police officer. For a moment I felt as if she had come to fetch me to find, because she stood at the gate to the backyard and stared at me writing something down. This didn't really make sense, though, and when Lisa came out, her hands on her hips, I lay down. The police officer handed Lisa a piece of paper. "The dog's just fine," Lisa shouted at her, really angry. I sensed the old lady standing behind me, just on the other side of the fence. She was breathing quietly while Lisa raged. That night Victor yelled about me even more than usual, the word dog popping up every few seconds. "Why don't we just shoot the damn dog?" he yelled. $50. For what? We're not doing anything wrong." Something crashed in the house, a violent noise that made me cower. "We have to get a lawn chain and clean up all the crap in the yard." "Read the ticket," Lisa shouted back. "I don't have to read the ticket. They can't make us do a damn thing. It's our property." And that night, when Victor came out into the yard to urine, he put his hand out to steady himself against the house and missed, tumbling to the ground. "What are you staring at?" Stupid mutt, he muttered at me. Take care of you tomorrow, not paying any $50. I slumped down low against the fence, not even daring to look back at him. The next day my focus was distracted by a butterfly who was flying around in front of my face, so I was startled when Victor suddenly appeared before me. You want to go for a car ride? Victor cooed at me. I didn't wag at the words. Somehow he made it sound like a threat instead of a treat. No, I thought, I do not want to go for a car ride with you. It'll be fun. See the world, he said, his laugh turning into a cough that caused him to return and spit on the ground. He unclipped my chain from the post and led me to his car, yanking me around to the back of when I stopped at the door. He inserted his key and the trunk popped open. In you go, he said. I sensed his intimation and waited for a command. I understood. Okie dokie, he said. He reached down and gripped me in the loose skin at the back of my neck and above my tail. There was a quick flash of pain as he hoisted me up, and then I was in a trunk, sliding on some greasy papers. He unsnapped my leash and let it pull on the floor in front of me. The lid slammed down, and I was in a near total darkness. I was lying on some smelly oil rags that reminded me of the night of the fire when Ethan hurt his legs in some cold metal tool, so it was hard to get comfortable. One of the tools was easily identifiable as a gun. The Arctic fragrance was unmistakable. I turned away from it, trying to ignore the sharp smells. I lay in a half crouch, my nails extended in a hopeless attempt to keep from slipping from one side to the other, and the narrow trunk of the car bounced and swayed. It was a strange car ride I'd ever had, and the only one I could remember that wasn't any fun. Still, car rides always resulted in new places, and new places were always fun to explore. Maybe there would be other dogs, or maybe I was going back to live with Wendy. The cramped, dark place soon became quite warm, and I found myself thinking of the room I'd been placed in with Spike when my name was Tabby, and I was taken from the Senora. I hadn't thought about that scary moment in a long time. So much had happened since then. I was a complete different dog now, a good dog that saved people. After I spent a long, miserable time in the trunk, the car began to vibrate and spin, and dust rose up in the air, a thick, choking cloud. I sneezed, shaking my head. Then the car barked to a sudden halt, sending me crashing against the inside of the trunk. The motor didn't shut off, though, and we sat for a minute. Oddly, as soon as we stopped, I could sense Victor inside the car on the other side of the trunk. Feel his presence. I had the distant sense that he was trying to make up his mind about something. There was a feeling of incense. Then he said something sharply, a word that was muffled, and I heard the front door open. Victor's feet crunched on gravel as he came around to where I was laying cringing. I smelled him before the trunk popped open and cool air whooshed in around me. He stared down at me, blinking. I raised my eyes to his, then looked away so he wouldn't think I was challenging him. All right, he reached down and twisted at my collar. I expected him to attach my leash, so I was surprised when the collar itself fell away, leaving behind it an odd sensation, as if I were still wearing a collar. Only one light is there. Get on out of there now. My legs were cramped as I stood up. I recognized his hand gesture and jumped out of the car, landing awkwardly. We were on a dirt road, long green grass waving in the sun from both shoulders. Grit from the road panting inside my nose and so on my tongue. I lifted my leg, looking over at him. What now? Victor got back in his car and the engine made a loud noise. I stared at him in confusion as his tires bit on the road, spitting Rats. He turned the car around, pointing the opposite direction. Then he rolled down his window. I'm doing you a favor. You're free now. Go catch some rabbits or something. He grinned at me and took off, the car kicking up a huge cloud of dirt behind it.